All right, everybody, welcome back to the Poet Speaks podcast. Now, we have very, very special guests today. A little introduction on them. Remember the time when our grandparents used to tell us interesting stories about our place, festivals, deities, and mythical characters. My next guest brings to you selected local stories related to rich traditions, rituals, festivals, all from Nepal. Please welcome to the podcast, Baakhan Nyane waa. All right. Thank you all for so much for joining this discussion today. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. So we have a full house today. It'd be great. Let's just start from the top. Let's see, Alina, and maybe then everyone, we could just introduce ourselves to the podcast today. Tell us what you do in the organization, all that good stuff.
Hello, my name is Elina Tamrakar. I'm an architect by profession, and in Baakhan Nyane waa, I'm one of the core team members. Yes, that would be my introduction.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am Oswin Tamrakar. I am also a core team member of Baakhan Nyane waa. By profession, I am a structural engineer.
Binta.
Hello, I am Sristina Srestha. I'm a conservation architect, and we all are core member of Baakhan Nyane waa here.
Nice.
Next, Binita.
Hello, I'm Binita Magaya. I'm also an architect and core member of Baakhan Nyane waa.
Hello, I'm Stylish. I do most of the video and audio recording and photography. So a core member of Baakhan Nyane waa.
Hello, this is Riza Joshi. I'm a civil engineer and urban planner by profession, and we all are core members of Baakhan Nyane waa. We all work together for the team as Baakhan Nyane waa, and I'm involved in research and development of Baakhan Nyane waa.
Nice. Well, again, big thank you to everyone for coming on the podcast today. So our mission at the Poet Speaks is to really talk about people that are using oral tradition all over the world. I'm curious for you all. Please tell me, well, first off, what your organization does in Nepal, what it is that you all do, and what it is that your name comes from, because I think you're doing something very important in Nepal and very important for a lot of people to see.
So our three of our team members are not present here today.
Mhm.
At least we could use them. So we have Raj Vikram Mahajan and Prajwal Sakya, Rajiv Bhattacharya. So they couldn't make it today, but we are a team of 9 people.
Got you.
So regarding your question, Baakhan Nyane waa in Newa language literally means let's listen to stories. So we are just with the name, we're trying to call people to come and listen to stories that are in the process of being lost. Because the oral traditions are slowly disappearing mostly because of the introduction of people being more and more busier, and also because of technology. So people are not don't have as much time as they used to have to neither the grandparents nor the grandchildren have enough time to interact with each other enough to transfer these stories from one generation to another. And these stories are not only stories, but they also carry a lot of significance vis-a-vis our culture and our tradition, and they explain to us why we do things the way we do. And so if the stories are lost, then it won't be long before the traditions and the culture is also lost. So that's why we want to preserve the stories.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I'm curious, how do you all go about preserving the stories? Now, I know you said from grandparents to grandchild. How do you find these pairings, these families that want to tell you their stories or give their stories to the world or to Nepal?
We generally have been working in themes. So we try to do collect stories based on the themes that we select. So the first theme that we did was about festivals. So we went to different parts of Kathmandu to collect stories about the festivals, the stories behind the festivals that are, celebrated in different parts of the Kathmandu Valley. The second theme was about places. So we have, each place has a name, but there are stories behind why it is called what it is, right? So we collected that in our second theme, and then in the third theme we tried to collect stories about the Karunamayas. Karunamaya literally means the compassionate one, and there are four main Karunamaya deities in and around Kathmandu Valley, and so we tried collecting stories about the four Karunamayas. So because of COVID, so we have had some difficulty, obviously, carrying out the story collection. But yeah, we're still waiting to do our final story on the Karunamaya theme.
Got you. Wow. So there seems to be an interesting part about having themes, and that's how you kind of find different people to carry out those themes through their storytelling. Alina, could you tell me a little bit about how you got involved with this organization? What was your motivation to join more than anything?
So for that question, we'll have to go back to how this particular group came into existence. So it was 2015. The great earthquake damaged so many monuments and settlements in Nepal. And while most of the monuments were damaged, and government and all of the community members were coming together to restore those monuments. One of the monuments that was completely devastated, completely came down, was Kashtamandap, from which Kathmandu actually got its name, and it is one of the oldest monument of Nepal. And while working for the campaign to rebuild Kashtamandap, many like-minded people who loved their heritage and had voluntary and also emotion towards rebuilding these heritage came together. And while working for documentation of tangible heritage, that means the measured drawings and all of the documents related to the structure, it was also obvious that it's the intangible heritage that is also equally important to preserve. And while doing so, the team came together with collecting stories and stories related to Kashtamandap, and all of the Guti, all of the community members that are related to this structure. And while doing so, this was one of the ideas that came into our minds, that we could collect the intangible heritage related to this structure through storytelling session, because in Newa culture, storytelling has been an integral part. I mean, grandfather and grandmothers use that storytelling as a part of transferring values and transferring stories and transferring information related to our heritage to the younger generation. So belonging to a Newa family, which very meticulously and very detailedly followed all of the rituals, all of the festivals, it was always in the back of the mind that, the intangible heritage, I was also part of it in my daily life, throughout the, since I was born in one of such families. So it was it was very close to me as well. And when we came together with this group of like-minded people, we came with this idea of why not having one of such sessions, so that we can not only document the intangible culture heritage, but at the same time also give on something to the community to think about, to revive that culture of storytelling in their own community, listening to the stories from their own elders in their own community. So that is how the idea of Baakhan Nyane waa came, and that is how I also personally got involved with this idea, with this team.
Wow, amazing. I think that's a very powerful method and tool through storytelling. I'm curious, why do you feel like storytelling is the intangible method to use? I mean, there's a billion ways in which, our elders have passed down, their traditions to us. Why do you think storytelling is the way in which you all wanted to go more than anything, through storytelling?
Because story, when you tell stories, it kind of gets into your head, because it's entertaining and it's equally interesting to listen to something in a very in a way that story tells, not in a very factual way or in a descriptive way, but it's kind of, because I remember when I was small, there used to be a person, he was old person, and he was one of the students of my great grandfather. My great grandfather used to be an artist, and this person was his student, and he used to visit our house every once in a month or so. And whenever he used to come, we children used to hover around him and ask him to tell stories. And whenever I still remember the way he used to tell stories, we used to dive into our imagination, and we used to actually imagine those characters in our head. So like, if that story is still stuck, if that story, when I listened to it when I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, even though I don't remember the complete line by line story, but I remember the gist of the story, that means it of course is a very effective way to grasp hold of whether it is children or adults, because story has an essence of getting your attention, and getting save it in your mind for a long time.
So our storytelling sessions sometimes had this snacks. It is a nostalgic thing for us in this generation, that we had this pahampa, and we as kids used to wait for it, and for the stories to be over and just get the snacks and be done with it. So that is also a part of this factor of listening and staying there until the story is finished, and that taught us really a patient thing. And many people, like in our storytelling sessions also, whenever we do it in different venues, people still remember, and they appreciate that we have that bahapa with us, and that snacks also brings us that nostalgia that we lived once in a while before and now also. So that storytelling is not just storytelling, it's how we interact and how we keep audience uh, in hold till that story session is over. And it really matters to all of those who are coming to listen to the story.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think storytelling has such a it, like you said, Benita, it has a very strong hold on people. I'm curious then, in terms of everyone, and this question's open to anybody, what has the reaction been to the audiences in which you've held these storytelling sessions? What is the audience like? Is it children coming out? Is it fellow like grandparents, elders coming out? Is it youth coming out? What is it like? Is it families coming together to watch this happen and listen to this? What is the audience like?
So I would like
To
to.
it is all of the above, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's we do get a lot we do get a lot of children and some youth. Also, elderly are quite interested in the storytelling sessions, because it's something that they have that was an integral part of their life. And so I think it makes them nostalgic. That's why we see a lot of elderlies in our sessions as well, and also families. And yeah, it'll have to be all of the above, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And the
So,
children, like Binta mentioned, the children, the main attraction for children being the bakampa, the popcorn, the snacks, the traditional snacks that we provide. We keep it right in front of the storyteller. So whenever you look at the storyteller, you see that huge bowl of popcorns there. So children usually sit patiently for now the details of the story. It may not grasp the children completely for the story, but in the end, we see them, at least for sake of the popcorns. And above that, just like Ashwin Dai said, all of the above group of people we see.
Absolutely.
And to add
I
on
want to
this,
add
I'd like to
something.
add a small part. Besides the actual audience on the site, in the venue itself, we also go through Facebook Live. So when we go through Facebook Live, lots of youth are also connected from different parts, not just the settlement itself, not just the vicinity of the area, but a larger audience get connected in the event. And they also have curious questions, and they interact in live sessions as well.
Okay.
So for me, on our second edition of Baakhan Nyane waa, the striking combination of the kids and the adults plus the elderly was amazing. The elderlies were more curious than I think. They had more questions, even though the language does fluctuate on the speaking method, and as you can see that we are grown with a digital age now, and the older generation was not grown with digital age or social media or any kind of technology in their hand. For them, just sitting there and listening to a storyteller is nostalgia itself. And as we've been giving them popcorns and everything, and the best part is they interact. The old generation would interact with what they had heard and why the story has changed. And sometimes some would go and say like, the stories were different what I heard from my grandfather parents, and some would say like, no, that's not right. That's something different. So those are the stories that each individuals have been passed down by their grandfathers, and their stories has been carried with them. And you can see that the stories are always little bit interesting, and in the same time very different. And that is the perspective of the connection that we are having right now, and it's very amazing. And yeah, I would say it's been interesting.
Someone had mentioned Facebook Live. I think that's very fascinating. So you all are recording your storytelling sessions now too, on through like Facebook, through social media. So you're making lives.
Yes, we do Facebook Live, and it is for the direct interaction, and we get lots of response in Facebook Live as well. And later on, we also process the document, the video documentation. So with the relevant clips, and we make it more interesting. And most of the event we conduct are conducted in Nepal Bhasa, which is a Newa language. And since most Nepalese and even people abroad cannot understand it, so we place subtitles in it and process the video, and we place them in YouTube and other platform so that larger audience can understand the story.
That is phenomenal. That's absolutely phenomenal. I'm curious too then, what has been probably for you all, what has been just the best reaction to people that people have given you from the audience through this storytelling event? Like, what is the best reaction that you've ever seen from people in the audience? Maybe something crazy, something someone was very happy. Like, what is just the best reaction that you've ever seen, if you could name one?
In one of my experiences, I could share was of Kirtipur. The storyteller there is Prayag Joshi, I remember, and he was I think he is very mesmerizing in telling his stories as well, and the setting itself was very cozy, and although it was on a hilltop but and very windy, but everyone stayed there and we had maximum number of participations.
Mm.
And when we were putting on signs and everything, and all the people, like the community there, where it was uphill, so we were downhill putting up the signs, and people were asking their neighbors to come, and also other people around, some very elderly, some children, and they were all saying, "Baakhan Nyane waa, Baakhan Nyane waa, Baakhan Nyane waa." That means come to listen to stories, come upstairs and everything. It was really that environment that was truly that spirit of Baakhan Nyane waa, that they were also feeling comfortable with us and all the setting that was happening. And it was totally a very nice ambience over.
Amazing. Oh man, that's amazing. Would anyone else like to add in just something great that they saw, best crowd reaction to this oral tradition being told?
Yeah, so in addition to what Binta said, like Kirtipur has been, that place has been one of the best sessions we had, because the community and the people were equally, excited as we were. Because whenever we go to a new place for the storytelling sessions, we all are so excited. Like we post in our social medias, we call our friends and families, and there the crowd was also huge, and there the the ward chief himself was so much involved in it, and he was like making everyone comfortable with the seatings, and they arranged everything in a very good manner. And even the storyteller, just like Binta said, he was very much he was a professional, he was almost professional storyteller, and he got all of the audiences so engaged. And next one was when we had one of the sessions in another place called Ponauti, where we had a huge crowd of people and came, and there people and youths from the neighboring settlement also came to listen to attend the session. And there the youths, they said that we also want you to have one of the sessions in our place, and we also have good stories. So that kind of that kind of feedback and that kind of invitation that we got, because Banepa, that was not exactly our next stop for the storytelling session, but we had to have that session soon, because they invited us, and they also said that we are very glad that this kind of session happened, and we, the youth, the community, will also try to have our own Baakhan Nyane waa session here. We'll try to continue it in future, even though like you had one session here, now we want to take it ahead. And also some friends from abroad in UK, they also they were very excited to see our this event we had. And he one of the friends, he came and asked, he sent us a message that they also want to have one of the session in the name of Baakhan Nyane waa, where in UK they organized a one-day storytelling session, and they also did it there. So main point of Baakhan Nyane waa is not just to have the sessions, in not just us going in different areas to have these sessions, but in a long term, our goal is also that the society, the community itself carries out these kind of sessions, and they continue this culture of sharing information about our heritage, and sharing it to the next generation, so that the next generation can take this ahead and pass on to the coming generation, and it remains in our it remains.
Absolutely. I think that's beautiful. So it remains. That leads me to kind of one of my final questions for you all. Could you tell us, what do you think the spoken word, what do you think oral tradition, what does that mean to you all?
So I would like to go ahead. So oral traditions makes us, first of all, like to start with my grandmother, because in those days, people were not allowed to speak the language because of lots of rules and regulations and other kings being changed. So we had a lot of history along the way. So every king has this implementation of certain things. So the best thing is like the grandmothers who have secret stories. Like for me, there are certain nostalgic stories like my grandmother used to tell me was how to make gold and how to make a little bit extra bucks using gold, and how did the gold come up here. And those are the stories, for me, is because that's the work that my grandfather and grandmother used to do. And they used to trade, they used to bring gold, process the gold, and make jewelries, and bring some, like, all the um, mechanics to it. So, and that was a very hard labor. And there are stories between the connection of Tibet, connection of Kathmandu, going all the way to Delhi. So, and for me, when she tells me her stories from her parents, maybe that's an experience, maybe that's a technology, I would say technology or techniques that she shared with me, and so that other people would know. And in between, she would uh, tell her story very probably sarcastically, probably, and obviously you have the bedtime stories, and uh, for me, that old story that for herself, that she always told me when she said that I couldn't learn, I could not read, I could not write, only she was able to speak, and she always tried to write, and but she was not allowed to go to school, she was not allowed to go outside to talk to people. Only she could only share her stories through her memories towards me, and that way, I think that is an impact for herself and for me as well. Uh, for That's my explanation, I would say.
Absolutely. Wow. Would anyone else like to jump in, add in their personal experience why oral tradition is so important in spoken word?
To add on this, like Shailesh just said, his grandmother was one of our best storytellers for Baakhan Nyane waa as well. We had lots of session with her, and we have lots of videos from her. And regarding the storytelling session, it is not just not just related to nostalgia. It is also part of our culture, because at times when people cannot read or write, but still they could communicate with their children, and they could transfer the story, history, and all the things that is happening around them from one generation to another. So this is a kind of documentation that has been passed on from different generation to generation. So this is not just related to entertainment, or just some is not just for the sake of entertainment, but it is also as a part of heritage, and it's also part of the knowledge sharing technique. And people have transferred their knowledge through song, stories, dance, and this is a part of our culture. So this is quite important for us.
Absolutely. Thank you all. Those are such beautiful answers. Keeping it generation to generation. I think that's such a beautiful thing, oral tradition and the spoken word. So as we are wrapping up the podcast, could you all tell us what is in store for the upcoming year, already 2022, for your organization in Nepal? What are your plans for what's going to go on for the next upcoming year for the org?
Yeah, we just recently published our first book, storybook for children, illustrated storybook. So we do plan to publish more. Yeah, based on the stories that we've collected, because we believe that with we have to, if we are to transfer these stories into the future, we have to use the new media, uh, as many media as we can, to take these stories forward. So we do plan to publish more books. Hopefully we'll be able to do that.
Absolutely.
And we'll also be doing we also, because now COVID is almost, hopefully, fingers crossed, over. So we do plan to do more sessions.
Yes, yes. More sessions all throughout Nepal, or are we sticking to Kathmandu, or just all throughout the country? you think?
I think it's too early to do it all throughout the country. We would be concentrating on Kathmandu, in and around Kathmandu for now.
Great. All right. Well, everyone listening, please be sure to check out their storybook for children. I think that'd be a great thing for people all over to read. Could you all tell us quickly, where can we find all of your info? For everyone, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering where they can find videos of you all, your info. Please tell us what the best place to check this amazing group out at.
Currently we are most active in Facebook. We have our Facebook page with the same name as our team, Baakhan Nyane waa. And for the live sessions, we have published all of our live Facebook sessions on Facebook page itself. But since it's live and there's lots of disturbance, and also the language that is used by the storytellers are Nepal Bhasha, which may not be, which all of the people may not understand. So we also have YouTube channel with the same name again, and there we have uploaded. We are in the process of uploading all of the videos. We have not been able to upload all of the sessions, but some of the few that we have finished are available in YouTube as well. Our YouTube channel is also in the same name, and we are also on Instagram for to connect and to talk more, if to share more information. But the most active is on Facebook and is on YouTube.
Perfect. All right. Thank you all so much. This is an amazing session. I'd like to thank you all again. Such an honor to have you on the Poet Speaks podcast, very first season. Thank you so much to you all. And everyone, this is the Poet Speaks podcast.